Sorry about that, babe.
Alright, I'm digging back into Bits and Glory's past here. This video is actually 4 months old and I forgot to do a voiceover for it. We're going to be taking a look at Final Fantasy Mystic Quest on the SNES, complete in box, along with the strategy guidebook, which seems to be, I don't want to say it's incredibly rare, but it sees to be somewhat rare. But first, let's take a look at what we have here with the box. Entry-level role-playing game, as we know. Even though it has the Final Fantasy name, it's not really connected to the series in any way. The box is in overall decent shape. This box actually I got at Nintendo Age a long time ago, back when I was in college. I think I paid like $5 for this. Some guy was just blowing out SNES boxes, so I bought a ton of them. Think you could save the world? Here's your chance to play the world's first role-playing game for the entry-level player. The planet is dying, cold winds blow, fires rage, trees are withering. In other words, it's brutal out there. Only you could stop the Dark King from consuming the light and the crystals of Earth. But don't think it'll be a walk in the park. You're up against the sleaziest of slime bags, the evilest of ecto scum. We're talking serious monsters here. This isn't your basic shoot 'em to smithereens kiddie game either. You'll have to think your way out of some tough spots. Think you can handle that? Free strategy guide available for a limited time with mail-in coupons. See inside for details, and I'm sure that's the strategy guide that we are going to be taking a look at, so that's pretty cool. Here's various screenshots from the game. Looks like they're focusing a lot on the ice area, which is kind of interesting. You would think that they would have shown some of the, other colorful areas that are in the game, but 3 shots there in the general ice vicinity. As far as this game goes, I played through it and I reviewed it. You can check that in the pinned comment description below. It was alright. It was what I expected, and it's what is, it's advertised as. It's an entry-level game. But it's still worthwhile, I would say. This particular cartridge I actually got at a local video rental store for $2.99, along with Final Fantasy II, Final Fantasy III, Mega Man X, and NBA Jam back in high school, so that was pretty sick. Back of the cartridge there is a little bit, I don't know what the word would be, a little bit yellowed, I guess. A lot of SNES cartridges have that happen to them. I don't know exactly how. It's not necessarily dirty, it's probably oxidized or something, but either way, it's in overall pretty good shape, and the original battery backup still works, so can't complain. So now let's take a look at the instruction booklet and the world map, I believe? I don't think it's a poster. I was actually going to try to frame it, but it's a little bit of a weird size, so my frames didn't fit it. As I struggle mightily to open this. Yeah, I remember this is pretty big, so it's probably going to be pretty tough to fit on camera here, but here we have a world map with everything labeled. It's pretty cool. I like the artwork style. This similar style is seen in the strategy guide as well. Yeah, not really much to say, I guess. You can bring up the world map while you're playing the game, and again, here's all the different areas that are denoted by the numbers. Like I said, pretty cool art style. Worthwhile to have, I would say. It's not really easy to get lost on the overworld in this game, because everything's kind of point A to point B. You walk like on predetermined paths and such. It's not like an overworld, you know what I mean? But still pretty cool to have, pretty cool to look at, and useful to reference, especially if you don't have the strategy guide. Really the only times that I ever got lost in the game, so to speak, were in dungeons and stuff. But now let's take a look at the instruction booklet. As you could probably assume from this era on the SNES, very thick and lots of information and colors. There are the table of contents. Cool artwork, as you can see. And here is the story of Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. I was going to read it, but I did a pretty bad job of pacing myself. I tried to do the voiceover 3 times, and I simply could not read it fast enough. So, yeah, anyway, if you guys want to read it, go ahead and pause the video. But, yeah, we'll just continue on here with the general voiceover. There you can see the classic Final Fantasy type of stuff right there, right? The 4 crystals, again with the cool art style. Essentially talking about, monsters growing stronger, meaner, and even more wicked, as you can see. Seasons and everything going berserk, as always. It's always the elements, right? And the main character's name is Benjamin. I actually forgot about that. But there you can see in the last paragraph, we're reading more about Benjamin, and we're seeing the cool artwork there of the tower. For some reason, I gave myself so much time to read that last paragraph, but not the others. Anyway, continuing on here. Gonna start your game, you know, starting a new quest, entering your name, so on and so forth. I believe I named my character either Bits or Razor or something, so that's probably why I forgot Benjamin. But this is a perfect time capsule of this era. You know, they're just filled with wonderful colorful screenshots, colorful artwork, going over every little detail that you might be confused about or have some questions on. This game works a little bit differently, obviously, than other Final Fantasies. You can swap between the way your HP and stuff is displayed, which is pretty cool. I chose like the standard numbers, but you could do that that bar that you see over there. You get a lot of people coming and going throughout the game, different things that you could do in the town. Going over the basic operations of the controls. You know, general stuff you could do in the overworld, such as chopping trees and jumping and opening chests, and there you get some pretty cool artwork, I guess, of Benjamin opening a chest and probably finding a potion or maybe an elixir, who knows. Going over the menuing, which, you know, oftentimes in RPGs, you can have a little bit of trouble with the menuing, whether it be clunky, whatever the case may be, so it's pretty cool that they break down everything here, whether it be items, spells, armor, so on and so forth. Going over the statuses here. Talking about basically your defense and all that kind of stuff. And here you got things that you can customize. Like I said, you can customize your life bar as well as message speed, window color, so on and so forth. Built-in battery backup. You know, tips on saving. Obviously, try to save before, you know, big events if you can. Obviously, you don't know that all the time, but still. Going over the battle system, which again, pretty entry level. I love this section. Going over like all the items, magic, and weapons in the game. Pretty cool visualization as well as explanation. I remember I really enjoyed the claw weapons in this game. I thought they were pretty neat. Usually they had interesting abilities, which you know, caused extra damage and or status afflictions to the enemies, which was pretty cool. And at the back of the instruction manual here, we have a little bit of a strategy guide, basically, which is, again, something very typical, featuring more cool artwork there. We ended up not using this part of the strategy guide, obviously, since we had the regular strategy guide to reference. Nevertheless, if you don't have access to that, it is a pretty cool way to get into the game and, you know, kind of lead you along into your journey. Saw the sneak peek there, goes up to 27 different events. Here's one of the boss. That's awesome. The artwork for the boss there. Flamerous Rex. Look at that. So after the Flamerous Rex, doing some battlefields, going into the towers, talking, getting some spells, you know, the usual. And then lastly, it leads you off at the Libra Temple, giving you some general advice. Go ahead and call the hotline and spend $1 million. That's basically what they're saying. Good luck. Pretty funny. Warranty stuff at the back, but overall that was in very good shape. Everything's in pretty good shape. I'd say overall it's like 8 out of 10. And here we got the strategy guidebook. I got this on eBay and I use this throughout my playthrough. Very, very cool, filled with tons of information. Visually pleasing, as is the manual. Let's see, charts here. Step-by-step breakdowns of the game. Extra information about characters. They kind of chapter things off for you too in here. It's just great. It's a great time capsule to look at. It's very helpful to beat the game too. And I'm very, very happy that I was able to add this to the collection. I remember I got it for a pretty good price. I bought this about 1.5 years ago, now as of the day of this recording. Can't remember exactly how much it was, but I remember there was not many of them on eBay. And yeah, the price was really good. I love that. Nice little advertisement there for Final Fantasy Adventure Legend and 2. Still need to play the Final Fantasy Legend 2. I stopped after 1 and haven't really worked my way back to the series, but look at this artwork, man. It's so colorful, you know? You gotta love it. But anyways, guys, I know it was a little bit clunky, but hopefully you enjoyed this unboxing and look at everything that Final Fantasy Mystic Quest has to offer. And if you did, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you want more Final Fantasy Mystic Quest content, of course, check out the pinned comment or description below, as you could check out my first ever full playthrough of the game, as well as my review. And yeah, hope you enjoy that and everything else. Take care, Happy New Year, and I'll see you in the next video.